Venue 2. Everybody knows about Venue 2. It's next to your apartment. Surprise, surprise. Even if you have to take a taxi to Wimbledon, like I used to do, she used to say, where are we going? And I used to say, south of the river. She goes, how long is it going to take? 5 minutes. And then the cab's like 25 minutes in. This was before Uber. And she's like, where are we going? I said, he's taken a dodgy route, isn't he? Traffic, he's gone the wrong way, bless. He said, 2 more minutes. Anyway, tell me about your cats. Blah, 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 blah. Into Venue 2. Venue 2 is dark. Venue 2 is a cocktail bar, is a lounge bar, is a wine bar. Venue 2 is just near your house. Venue 2 has sofas. Venue 2, you do not sit opposite her. My new hobby is to sit at the bar, actually, on these stools. Because there's even more sneaky stuff you can do here than a sofa. A sofa's a bit like a cinema. It's quite hard to talk to a girl like this. So my new hobby is like right angles. Even if you're in O'Neill's or Wetherspoons and you're on one of those high tables with these chairs, don't sit opposite her. Sit at right angles to her. Does that make sense? Because as soon as you sit down, your knees touch in, and my hand is ready to go. Okay? And now in my mind, I'm thinking, no more verbal escalation. Tom Torero, you have 60 minutes on the clock to get up back to your house. Good luck. Here we go. Go. Okay, let's do it. Not literally. How do we physically escalate? What's my 5 steps? And if you've got self-seduction, you see me do it literally on the Colombian girl. I managed to film this.
First, grab her hand and say, your hands are like a mini version of mine. We might palm read.
Very good. Old school game. So you're talking. Suddenly notice her hand and go, oh my God, you've got freakishly small hands, like a little hobbit you are. Give me your hands. Compare hand sizes, okay? Do you play the piano? I say, do that distance. Go on, mate. Do you know what that means? She's like, whoa, what does that mean? And you say, yeah, your ex-boyfriend's personality. Or you just say it's the size of your piano span, whatever. Oh, you should play the guitar. Oh, I play the guitar, by the way. Ha, 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 ha. Seed number 1, yeah? Have you ever played the guitar? No, I never played. Oh, sometime I'll teach you. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, so we've done hands. Then the old school boys amongst us, including me, on Stealth Seduction, we do the ring routine. And if you've seen Stealth Seduction, it's on every fucking video. So I grab her hand and then I say, oh, interesting, you have no rings. Or interesting, do you know why you have the ring on that finger? And girls say, no. And then you don't make it up, you tell some bullshit story. You say, well, in ancient Greece and in ancient Rome, each finger had a meaning. So that ring has a deep meaning. Did you know that? No? Well, and you take her hand and you say, this thumb is Poseidon, the god of adventure, the god of the sea, the god of travel. So I can see you, you love to travel. Barnum statements, yeah? This finger is the bossy one. Oh, you're a very bossy girl. You're Zeus. Zeus, king of the gods. You like telling people what to do, don't you? Naughty girl. Oh, the ring's on this finger. This is Bacchus, the god of wine. You are a party girl. You are a dark horse, you are. This one you know. I say this one you know. And it's the same on both hands, by the way. This one you know. This is Aphrodite, the god of love. You're so romantic. Just like me, I'm very romantic. And this one, I'm glad you haven't got a ring on this one, because this is Ares, the god of war. And we'd have to wrestle on the ground. Spot the sexual reference. Okay, and that routine takes about 5 minutes. And by that time, you've really, really got quite close. And then I flip her hand over and you pretend to be shocked. You go, oh my God. And I pretend to get up and leave. So what? Russian girls, Ukrainian girls, and South American girls are extremely superstitious. They're obsessed by astrology and dreams and star signs and hands and gypsy women, So you look at her hand and you go, oh my God, my mother warned me about girls like you. What? And then you just feel her up. You say, well, this line here, it says you're going to meet a man from England or from Wales. Ooh, he's going to try and seduce you in a... Oh my God. You don't take it seriously. And then she says, do you really know about this stuff? You say, no, I'm just trying to touch you. Fourth wall. That's an advanced technique. Write it down if you like that kind of stuff. So she says, do you really know about this? You say, no, I'm just trying to escalate. Okay, hands, rings, hands, palms, tan. And then you go, wow, you're very pale for a Colombian girl. Roll up your sleeve. She rolls it. So you go, is that fake tan? That is fake. You're so whatever. She's too pale. She's too dark. She's not Japanese. She's too Japanese. Whatever. You compare tans. Next one. The best one. Eyes. That used to be the John Matrix classic. He would suddenly go, lean right into her and go, are you wearing contact lenses? You're such a liar. Right, just a fucking excuse. Shoulder massage is the last one. Hair is, I would leave it a little bit. Smell is okay. You can say, oh, somebody smells nice. Oh, it's me. That's the joke. Don't say, you smell beautiful. Even better one. Come on. Craig should know this one because he's covered in them. Herpes. That was a joke. We shall edit that out. Craig knows this one. What is it? Tattoos. If you learn one thing from self-seduction, it's how powerful this topic is. Whether you have them or she has them or you don't have them or she doesn't have them. Tattoos is amazing because not only can you touch her hands and her wrist and her arm, very quickly you'll touch her shoulder. Most girls in stealth seduction pull down their top. 3 of the girls in stealth seduction pull down half of their jeans. You can just grab her ankle and start touching her leg. She will grab your hands. There's the virgin in stealth seduction who grabs my hands. She just grabs them on this instant date. And I go, right, same delay. Wasn't a same delay, but I bounced it back. So get into the routine of tattoos. And you just say to her, oh, do you have any tattoos? And she says, yes. Let's have a look. Come on. Oh, you know, does your mother know about that one? And then I say, do you have any secret tattoos? Do you have any secret tattoos? And sometimes girls go, maybe. If she says no, just say, do you want some tattoos? Okay, if you had a tattoo, where would you get it? And then I write on her body. I say, you should get T-O-M, Tom. Or you should get Justin Bieber here. Or you should get my name across here. Right? You can get filthy. And this topic on stealth seduction in the dates, you see, it usually goes on for about half an hour. Because then you get into talking about tattoo meanings, nice guys, bad boys, what tattoos mean, why she has that. And if you get a green light, like she pulls down her top to show you, a girl pulled down her top once, a Portuguese girl, to show me a snake here. That's it. Uber, yeah? Compliance. Why are you still in the fucking bar, yeah? I think that's it. Have I missed out any more? Yeah, hair. You can just, I often say, did you ever have your hair down to here? And then I touch her ass. Or did you always have it to here? And I touch her neck. And then you can say, oh, something smells good. Oh, it's me. Ha, 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 ha. Talk about her hair. Girls are very sensitive to their hair, but be warned that some girls don't like somebody touching their hair. Then I do the floppy test. So at this point, it's probably about half an hour in. We're almost finished. And I give her a few pushes. And like, oh, my God, I hate you. You're such an idiot. Just get out of here, you know. Or the best one is to say, I hate you, as you pull her in. That's a classic mystery. Push, pull. There you go. Oh, I hate you. Come here. Much better than just going, come here. And anyway, at that moment, if she leans into you, if she goes floppy, if she's completely compliant, remember that magic thing we talked about, compliance? Finish the date. Guys go, but I've got 2 more venues planned. I'm doing a river trip in a minute. You're like, man, you get a window. Girls give you a window. It's like cooking boiling water, and you get about half an hour. You get about an hour's window max. You heat her up, you seal the deal. There's a point of no return. If you really can't take her home because you've got an exam tomorrow, I wouldn't do much physical escalation. Just actually end the date early. Like, oh, somebody's just rung me. Sorry, got to go. Leave on a high. Man of mystery, yeah? Okay, you've really got to embed these if you want to become a fast day gamer. Took me about 4 years to work that one out. Yeah? You don't there's not a magic moment when she's suddenly on from your magical pickup skills. She gets on because you start touching. And one of the girls in the post-interview and stealth seduction, I say, when did you know? I always say to them, when did you know what I wanted, when we were going to sleep together? She said, when you started touching me. Up until then, I thought you were like friendly. And then as soon as you were grabbing my hand, I knew what was going on. There's rarely a perfect moment. So I find it uncomfortable. I'm still a nice guy. And every time I do it, even with a couple of beers, I know that I've got to make this jump to physical. And I know I've got to say to her, let's get out of here. And it's probably the hardest question you ever have to say to the girl. You know, let's get out of here. And they always say, where? You have to just, I used to lie. I don't recommend it. I used to say, we'll just find another bar somewhere down the road. But now I've seeded it. Remember, I've spoken about the guitar. I've spoken about those diving videos. I've spoken about my shisha. So I say, well, listen, we could have another one here. But to be honest, I've got half a bottle of wine. I only live next door. Surprise, surprise. And guys go, well, my date venue was 4 miles away. I go, well, that was your problem, wasn't it? You didn't arrange logistics. So we walk out of the bar. She says, where are we going? I say, that's where I live. I've only got about 45 minutes. I've got half a bottle of wine, and I'll teach you that Justin Bieber song you were talking about on the guitar. But can I trust you? You're not going to nick anything from my house, are you? Okay. It's the hardest bit of the seduction, I know. And we've spoken about that already. Keno's not just to turn her on. Keno is our little trick to find out where we are. This is when I've just added this in because it works so well in South America. At any point, just say to her, are you lying? Whatever she says, she's talking about studies or hobbies. You say, you lying? What? No? You say, you look a bit sneaky. Give me your hands. Give me your hands. Let's do a trust test. Bit old school, and just grab her hands, lean in, and say, yeah, I need to look in your eyes for 10 seconds. I've been trained in this, I can tell if you're a liar or not. Come here. Do you really have a husband? Let's see. And it's just a blatant excuse to hold a girl's hands for 10 seconds. And when you get to about 5, the sexual tension is ridiculous, and she usually giggles. Yeah? Are you lying? I don't want to keep going over shit tests because they're all documented online. I think I even made a video in New York about what the girl is going to say to you on the date. Again, guys are shocked when girls say things like, okay, I'll try one on you. Why are you single? She suddenly says to you, why are you single? Why don't you have a girlfriend?
Very rigorous application process.
Very good, yeah. I can give you an appointment tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So I'm very selective, I like to add in a bit of the mystery there. I say to her, when I was young, it was just about beauty. But now, I need beauty and I need something else. So, beauty is common. It's a classic routine. And you won't believe how much models and very Instagram kind of girls, they freak out at that moment. And younger girls are easy to qualify as well. If you say to an 18-year-old girl, you're hot, but what else have you got going on? Fuck, they go wild. Try it on a London Fashion Week girl, A good if she says she's a model in London, go, okay, interesting, yeah. It's really hard to tell in London who's a model. But what else do you do? Because even pro models do something else. She's usually studying. Okay. Why are you single? You just want to have sex. What's my reply to that one? Oh, we said that one. You shouldn't be thinking about sex. I agree and amplify. I say, yeah, I'm pretty simple. 1 brain, 2 brains. I like sleep, steak, and sex. Does that make me a bad man? It's a great line. Write that down. Does that make me a bad man? Never, ever, ever apologize. Yep. She's going to ask you about your job, so you need a backstory. She's going to ask you about your age. She's going to say to you, why did you and your girlfriend split up? I say, I killed her. Killed her for the money. How much money have you got? Yeah. I'm working out whether to kill you for blah, 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 blah. Be ready. All I'm saying is be ready. Don't be a lazy bastard. Right, there's what, who's seen a bit of stealth seduction, the end where I think I call it Ukrainian fail, and I go on a couple of dates with her. She's pretty hot, she's got a choker, she's got big boobs, and I end up not sleeping with her because of this problem. Does anybody know the one I'm talking about? Maybe no one sat through 17 hours of stealth seduction.
I've seen it, but I know about it.
Okay, well, if you've got stealth seduction, this is a very interesting girl. And all the comments from beginners and all the emails and all the comments online said, why didn't you sleep with her? She's so friendly. And what the cruel bit is, she's so sexual. Even on the street, when I stopped her, it was so sexual. And I went away thinking, oh my God, this girl is hot. This is on, man. And on the first date, it was so sexual. She was baiting me. She was doing the verbal escalation on me. Then she was flaky, and then by the second date, she was doing it again. She was like talking about her boobs and talking about sex a lot. And why do girls do this? It's a test. And I have to say on that video, I failed because I was eager to film and I just thought she was hot. And the problem is when you think a girl's really hot in the moment, I just got really horny and I kept trying to bounce her home. And you can see the moment when she's like, ha ha ha, little man. You failed the test. So really hot girls, or I would say real high status girls. So a celebrity girl might do that to you. A girl that really knows her value. She wants to see how horny you are. So in that situation, it's not a good idea to escalate. It's a very rare situation. You'll get it in Russia, you'll get it in Ukraine, you'll get it in London Fashion Week. But unfortunately, it's bait, and I lost. Because of this reason. Guys say to me now, Tom, what's your sticking point? And I filmed stealth seduction myself, and I edited it myself, so I had to watch 50 hours of myself, or listen to 50 hours. So I'm very aware now of my sticking points. I've already told you one of them. I break tension. I talk too much beyond the hook point. Sometimes my voice goes back up to really high if she's really hot. I don't pull the trigger fast enough. But most of the time I'm too eager. And because I was filming, I was going in there like smash and grab. I was like, right, let's just go for it. One date, one venue. I'm filming, the camera's rolling, verbal escalation, physical escalation, pull, 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 pull. She would come back to the house and there would always be this frame battle. You know, I'm trying to overcome, she's trying to test me, I'm trying to overcome. And then eventually, most of the time, I slept with her, but it was exhausting. And a guy who knows me very well, he said, Tom, you overreach. You're too much of a player. A guy who's really in sexual abundance, like a celebrity footballer, he wouldn't overreach. So the best analogy you can think of is you do your bit and you stand halfway. So you go halfway, you do your verbal, you do your physical, you invite her home, and then you stop. Or you even stop in the bar. You're not trying to force her to come back with you, you're just seeing if she's on. And I've really not understood this for years, but now this year that's my aim. To do enough, and then just to roll off. So actually this year I'm trying to take girls on 2 dates, even 3 dates, because I don't like that. Do people know what I'm talking about? In the bedroom, if you're trying to do same day lays and 1 date lays, it's fucking exhausting. And you will get shit tested like mad. The quicker you try and pull her, so like a same day lay, half an hour, 1 hour, you're going to get token LMR. You're going to get fireworks in the bedroom, right? I'm too old for that. I don't really enjoy the shit test anymore. So this year, I'm going to actually push her away. As soon as I've escalated, I'm going to push her away. And try and make her chase me more. Which is basically what fractionation is. I haven't been fractionating very well. I did succeed, but last year was exhausting. I did it all for you buggers. Some of the best seducers I've ever met, as I've said, they hide their pulls with cheekiness. Some of you might know Baxter. He's a character in the London scene. Robert Beck. He's now the He's now the wing of mystery. And he's one of the cheekiest guys you'll ever meet. Lethal, deadly. He's a great puller. Sneaky guy, great seducer, but he looks like a little kid. We call him Tintin. Girls think, butter would melt in his mouth, if that's the saying, but he's lethal. So he's hiding his pulls and his sexuality with cheekiness. And if you watch the movie Alfie, you'll see that as well. No excuses. I don't need to nag you anymore. It's your fault. It's not her fault. If you don't lead and you don't have logistics, it's your fault. And guys will email me and say, well, I live with my mum or I live in zone 5, therefore it's impossible. And there's plenty of guys in this room that have the same problems as you and they're successful. They use her place. They use toilets. They use parks. They use cars. No excuses. No excuses. I'm tired of the zone 5 excuses. As I said, I used to live in Wimbledon. And how did I do it? I used to lie. I used to date in the centre. Venue 1 was in the centre. And then I would say, let's get out of here. Where are we going? South of the river. Isolation. So I say there's verbal escalation, physical escalation, and you should all know that just by sitting alone in a room with a girl, you're escalating. So yeah, that includes the disabled toilet of the Hippodrome Casino, which we shall come on to, or the disabled toilet of the National Gallery, or the best disabled toilets in Britain are Starbucks, because they have to be built to proportions. They're massive. So, if you're in isolation with a girl, you don't need to do anything. Very quickly, just stand there and you'll feel, obviously, the sexual tension. It's like when she comes into your house, you feel a bit nervous, she feels very nervous, just from being alone. Okay, practical, you can write these down, especially if you're a travelling day gamer. This is like, say what you see. See if you can work it out. A travelling day gamer, but also a London day gamer as well. Mini alcohol. If you're travelling, you can't afford to get the big bottles. You can't take them in your hand luggage anyway. And you usually end a trip with, 2 undrunk bottles of alcohol, unless you're an alky. So I just go to the local store and buy a few cheap beers, and I buy a few tiny spirits. Because you don't know, is she going to drink wine? Is she going to drink beer? What happens if she doesn't drink wine or beer? So it's nice just to have some plausibility. Right, this one was sent to me by a guy called Tom. He's on a podcast. He's in Brighton, I think. He's a young guy and he does same-day lays in London because he lives with his mum. Why does Tom carry this around? It's a universal disabled toilet key. So if you ever meet Tom, you should say thank you. Because we started having the problem that 4 or 5 regular day gamers started having sex regularly in the Hippodrome disabled toilet because it's so amazing. Level 1 is a casino, level 2 is a bar. Next to the bar is a disabled toilet. It's open 24 hours a day. It's in Leicester Square. Holy shit. But they cottoned on to this fact and they locked the door. So now we unlock the door. It is illegal, right? It is, I think, technically illegal. So this happened to me. It's in the book Daygame. It was in the Light in Shoreditch, a very hipster venue. The first time I ever had sex in a toilet was in that toilet. You can go in there and, sign your name on the wall. And the bouncer suddenly started smashing on the door. And then they opened it with a key. They pulled us out. They yanked us upstairs to the manager's back office. So what do you say in that situation?
My girlfriend was being sick.
Yeah, exactly. She was puking and I was holding her hair. They can't say anything, right? So I'm not encouraging you to do naughty things, but stop telling me you have bad logistics. Because you have Green Park, you have Hyde Park, the National Gallery has an awesome toilet, the Charing Cross Hotel has a bar on level 1. If anybody remembers where we filmed the early Daygame product, that was in the Charing Cross Hotel. And next to the bar is a huge 5-star disabled toilet. It sounds wacko, but you won't believe how easily London girls do it. Okay, I've messed up many times by not having Wi-Fi, not having internet, fast internet, not forgetting a hard drive or something, and you get back to the apartment and you're nervous and she's nervous and you're thinking, fuck, playlist, movie, you promised her Vicky Cristina Barcelona. So now I have like a 1.5 hour music playlist downloaded and a few movies with like a Spanish translation or a Russian translation and my photos on a USB stick. Because you want to get straight back to your apartment and not be sweating. You want to open your laptop. You want to be good to go. There's so many times where I've been fumbling on like trying to find some dodgy movie to download and the buying temperature's just going down and down and down and down. And she's like, okay, I got to go. This one, if you use Airbnb, many Airbnb apartments don't come with corkscrews. So you buy a bottle of wine, you go back to hers. This has honestly cock-blocked me in Estonia. The lay's on, you go back, you sit on the sofa, you can't open the bottle of wine. You try with the fucking knife, you know. She says, I got to go, bye. And just goes. So either buy the one with the screw cap or carry your, well, I don't know if you can carry one actually, probably not. So I don't know. That one, better than Viagra. Only as an emergency, you shouldn't be taking that regularly because it gives you side effects and it's just it's a nasty thing. But I started carrying half a tablet of this. You get it from Superdrug without seeing a GP or Boots online. Not cheap, but it's an emergency because once in Moscow, I had all the girls came out on the last few dates. I got down to the last day. I had like 8 hours LMR with this girl. So, you know, LMR just drains you of life and soul. And in the morning, I had sex with her, and then 2 hours later, another girl wanted to come over. Okay, amazing. She was hot, so she came over, and the first time in my life, not through fear, but through just exhaustion, I couldn't get it up. And she was like, come on, let's do it. And if that happens to you once in your life, you will say, this will never happen to me again. And these work wonders, like 15 minutes as an emergency. I wouldn't use it regularly. But it's, again, not many guys speak about this in the community, but it happens. The secret sauce, how are we doing? We'll do 10 more minutes and we'll stop. The secret sauce of pickup to get to super advanced level. Okay? You really need to work on your qualification. So we've spoken about it. Many guys have hinted at it. There's a magical moment in the interaction where you basically flip it. And you very sneakily get another human being to invest. And when a human being invests in something, they want to see it through to the conclusion. They have ownership of it. And in a way, she's gaming you. Why is it not true that she's actually gaming you?
Because you set it up.
Yeah, it's fake. Because at any point, she could just drop her jeans and say, let's have sex. And you'd be like, okay. You're pretending to walk away. So you're creating that sales technique of, 2 days left of the sale. I've only got one left. Or, don't call us, we'll call you. You're creating a bit of her chasing you. And why is this important? This is important because it takes away all that stress of you battling with her to get escalation, to get the bounce, to get the over the LMR. It's exhausting, and you can do it, but it's much nicer to actually be the high-value guy, actually be Johnny Depp, and just sit in the apartment and purposefully wait for her to jump on you. It's one of the nicest feelings in the world, where you could jump on her, but you pretend you're not interested. It's very sneaky, but it's very relaxing. I use that phrase a lot. If a girl says to me, can you go and pour me a glass of wine? She might say that in your apartment. Can you just go and pour me another glass of wine? I say, okay, if you make a chicken noise. I just ask her to do anything. It's a classic compliance thing. I say, okay, if you kiss me here, come on, I'm lonely. She kisses you on the cheek, you pour her the wine. Why is that better than just pouring her the wine?
Because she wouldn't frame.
Yeah, it's a very subtle, slippery slope of no frame. Who can you really get good at this on? 18 to 21-year-old girls. So I noticed this in Stealth Seduction, where I was purposefully going for younger girls, because so many guys have that limiting thing about 37-year-old guy with 19-year-old girl. And with 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old girls, try all the qualification you know. Does anybody know some qualification questions? We've had some. How tall are you?
Yeah, just why?
Why is a great one, yeah. So why? Why are you in New York? It's like, you should be in California.
I like asking, why do you study there?
Yeah, that sounds really dull. Really? You're studying that? Really? And you can do it with a jokey face, or when you're older or you're more solid, you can do it with a serious face. Why? I don't understand. Spain's nicer than London. Why are you in London?
I like doing, I don't believe you.
Yeah, kind of jokey, that one. Oh, I don't believe you. Same with, are you lying?
Yeah.
What else? How tall are you? Girls are very insecure about height. Models think they're too tall. Short girls think they're too short. So whatever she is, just go, ooh. I normally date girls that are taller or smaller. I always say, oh, you're cheating. How much are you cheating? Jesus Christ, you're a hobbit. Our kids are going to be so weird. Yeah? What else can we qualify her on? You say, well, how old are you? Say that to her. How old are you? And she'll be, 18? But I did date a guy who was 28. Right? Getting her to flip it. So why are you single? Why are you single? If she's high value, if she's a model, if she's a stripper, high value. We want to get her qualifying about beauty is common. This is why Mystery invented this. So you say, well, yeah, I know you're a model. This is London. Yeah, but what else do you do? Because the modelling thing's going to finish when you're 27. But what else do you do? Well, I love saying the line, well, you're obviously hot. Beauty's common in New York. I know that. But, are you interested? Have you travelled? And as an older guy, you really can get good at this. And with these younger girls, they jump like fish straight out of the water into the boat. And it sounds like such a stupid technique. But if somebody qualifies you, you will go away thinking, wow, I really earned that. It's like a job interview. Like, yes, I got the job. So she weirdly thinks she picked you up. Don't miss out rapport, that's all I'm saying. Because it's boring. I know it's boring. But if you just try to do flash game, you get LMR, and it's harder. Mystery used to say 7 hours, didn't he? 7 hours of talking to a girl. I don't think it's 7 hours, but you can't completely skip out rapport. That's what I'm saying. These are just some interesting aphorisms. The more you talk to her, the less likely it is you'll sleep with her. About once a week, I do a Skype with a guy who has a very, very high IQ. This is a curse. And they gravitate towards me because they think, oh, maybe he seems, educated. He went to university, so let me call Tom and ask him about how to use IQ to impress women. And again, it's a bit like the money. You have to say, well, sorry, mate, but actually low IQ is better than high IQ for seducing. It's one of those weird counterintuitive things. Do you remember the naughty kid at your school, the real thick fuck? He had no problem dragging girls to the bikes, did he? Because he just wasn't thinking. He's not socially programmed to think about other people or, oh, I feel a bit weird. He doesn't give a shit. Guys that are in prison for real nasty things, what kind of fan mail do you think they get? A lot. It's sick. Guys in there on death row get the most, right? Again, we're going to talk about this later, dark triad. But the high IQ guy who tries to impress women with the stories and, talking about, oh, I know a lot about red pill. Let's talk about red pill, yes. Have you read the game? Do you know about social dynamics? I know a lot about social dynamics. This is social dynamics. Do you know this is a game? And you're like, all right, mate. But what's the saying? You don't tell someone when they're eating a sausage how it was made. I've made a podcast on this. I don't talk about deep rapport because A, I don't do it, and B, you've got to be a bit of a dark fuck to do it. Beginners always want to go, why can't I do deep rapport? Like talk about her psychological problems, talk about her mother, talk about her hopes and dreams, because then she'll be mine. Why is it a bit cruel to do deep rapport?
Bring up bad memories.
Yeah. But go back to the lover, arcade boyfriend.
Fall in love with you.
Girls that are vulnerable will fall in love with you. Younger girls will fall in love with you.
Yeah.
Girls that have had fucked up pasts will start crying. You can't get rid of them. You're the boyfriend. You're actually the husband. So don't do this stuff. I say you don't really need to. If you're the lover, don't go into deep shit. We're going to talk about pimp game after the break. So if you want to be a dark triad fucker, then get into this very dark world of making girls fall in love with you and then running away. I've already said that one. Golden question on the date. Say to her, do your parents live together? If she says no, you've got a very high statistical chance. It's a sad thing. Girls that were raised by their mothers without a father, it's just, they do crazy shit. Fourth wall, I've spoken about that a lot. That's just my favorite technique of calling out what's going on. But you need to be careful of it, because sometimes in stealth seduction I was too proud of saying to the girls, like, hey, I'm a player, you know that? I'm in the secret society, you know that? And girls don't want to hear that, right? Girls don't want to know how you're seducing them. So I use it very occasionally. That one is needed in Eastern Europe, in Russia, on very socialite kind of girls. I've done a podcast on that as well. So you're non-reactive, you overcome the shit tests, you put up with 2 dates, she's still being a madam, and you're getting really angry inside, and you say, okay, last chance saloon, fuck this shit, right? And I say to her, listen, I just want to say something to you. And then you got one chance, right? It's either going to go either 2 ways. Either you have sex with her or you never see her again. And I discovered it, as I said, by accident in Russia. One date I got a little bit drunk. She was very, very bitchy. And I broke my own rule of not being reactive, and I just started shouting at her. I started like laying into her, saying like, you're a game player, you're manipulative, you know what you're doing, you're behaving like a teenager. It's disgraceful, you know? You're an egomaniac. And then I downed my drink, and 30 minutes later we had sex. And that was the first time I ever thought, holy shit, this is a technique that Russian men use, Polish men use. I don't know if you could use this in, on a timid Japanese girl, but I've spoken about that before. If you want to know more, ask me about that, because it's linked to drama, which we're going to talk about, pimp game. It's a little bit dark, but if you create drama with a girl, you get amazing results. Why? Because of the cat and the mouse, yeah? This was a tweet. Drama gives them a dopamine hit and then removes the dopamine. They literally get drug cravings. The girl wants what she lacks. That can get very dark. Dark triad, real dark triad guys and pimps that we'll talk about, they really use drama and basically getting the girl addicted. Addicted so she can't leave you. We've got to talk about it because it's these are techniques that are used. Last one to finish, yeah. There's that point on the date where you've done all you can, you're having problems, you can't get past the LMR, and you basically say, good night. And she goes off. And at that moment, I call it the boomerang moment, because you don't know if she's going to come back. You've done all you can. And rather than going past the point of no return and getting all needy, pull, it's better to just say, okay, you've got to get up in the morning, I've got to get up. I'll call you an Uber. There you go, good night. And you literally just, not literally throw her out the window, but she's gone. And I like to do this, and sometimes she doesn't come back for a few days, a few weeks, even a few months. But it's good to know that they do come back often, even with a bit of drama, even with a bit of an argument. But it's good to do. So if you're hitting a brick wall, if you're struggling with LMR, just open the door and say good night, and watch her hamster start to spin, and just pray that she comes back. But you've got to remember, from that moment on, you're not allowed to text her. Because guys will often text, "Did you get home okay? I had a lovely night." Or they'll crumble after 2 days and be like, "Hey, what's up?" No. Once you've thrown the boomerang, silence. Some of the girls you'll never see again. Some of them will pop up on Facebook in a couple of months like, "Hey." So that silence, that vacuum worked in your favour. All right, how do you know you're in lover mode? So you've reached intermediate or whatever. You think, how do you know you're in lover mode? Or you're seeing a girl right now. How many of these apply to you? She doesn't ask you to use a condom. You'll be shocked at how many girls don't. You can do crazy stuff with her. Here's a big one. She doesn't sleep over. You don't let her sleep over. That's one of my rules. You don't text her daily. She doesn't text you. You don't do public displays of affection. So you don't walk around Covent Garden holding hands or hugging her. That's part of the secret society. Shockingly, on stealth seduction, most of them have partners. Again, we don't want to get into morality here, because everybody has a different compass on this particular issue. But it's just a fact of life that girls cheat, girls have lovers, wives have lovers, girls in London have many, many guys. I like the saying, no hot girl is ever single. You might think she's single, but she's not. So don't worry when she says she has a boyfriend. She's got 4 boyfriends. You're number 5. That's a big one that I'm trying to be more honest and transparent about. Many girls have actually read my first book, Daygame. They've seen my YouTube videos. It actually eventually gets quite a good response. In the beginning, they shout at you, and then pre-selection. Yep. But she definitely knows you're a player. You don't buy her stuff. That's how you prove you're not a provider, because you just don't buy her stuff. She does stuff for you. And you can always ask her to bring a bottle of wine or ice cream or popcorn or draw you something, make you something. Make her work. BDSM. Right. I had a very sweet email from a guy who brought stealth seduction, and he was genuinely shocked. Because he remembered me as a nice primary school teacher, and he had to listen to 17 hours, bless him, of quite filthy stuff. There's some real filthy stuff on there. And he said, "Tom, I just never knew. I never knew that was you. I never knew girls did that. I never knew that was possible. I never knew a Muslim girl would do that, or a virgin would do that. I never knew you could say that stuff." And he was a bit horrified. So I told him to watch Nymphomaniac. Don't watch 50 Shades of Grey, but watch this movie. It's in 2 parts. Lars von Trist. And it's a girl's sexual history from when she's a young girl all the way to when she's an old lady. And the reality of sex. What sex is for women. You should read that book, My Secret Garden. So sex is for fun. Sex is for love. Sex is out of fear. Sometimes, domination in a dark way. Sex is a bet with her friend. Sex is because whatever, she was horny. There's millions of reasons why she might sleep with you, and this movie is very honest about open relationships and BDSM. I'm not talking about me going to meetups and weird kinky things with middle-aged German couples. I have been to a BDSM pub event in London with Baxter, and it was weird. Because, you got the torture garden, but the serious stuff of leathers and doms and subs, and there's all these rules, and the people are, let's just say, middle-aged housewives. It's a little bit weird, yeah? I'm talking about taking the sex to somewhere a lot more animalistic. It's a way of keeping a girl around. It's what a lover should do if you want a girl to keep coming back. If you haven't had much sexual experience, sure, you start as the lights-off missionary position, we say, vanilla sex. And then you just push it bit by bit by bit. And last year and the year before, I was just trying stuff that I never thought I'd try. And it's fun. And try it with a girl who's open-minded. I met a bisexual girl last year. That led to the threesome at the end of last year. And she loved Nymphomaniac, and she loved a particular scene in Nymphomaniac. It's in the second movie where this girl escapes from her husband every night, goes down to this dark basement somewhere, and is whipped. She wants to be whipped by a guy, a kind of sadomasochistic bondage thing. And this goes on all over London. Guys are like, what? Yep, at lunchtime in the city of London, guys go and get whipped. Now, it wasn't me getting whipped. She wanted to be whipped. So this belt, as I've always said, it's done many funny things. But, you start soft, and then you get a bit harder, and then you just open. What does she want to try? What do you want to do? You don't have sex in a bed. Guys are like, what? No. It's much better if you don't have sex in the bed. It's much better if you don't have sex in your house. It's much better if you don't have sex at night. It's much better if you don't have sex drunk. Guys are like, oh, okay. So you can do, midday risky things, toilet things, you can do risky locations, public locations, cars, parks, whatever. I'm just saying that if you want to keep girls around and take game to the next level and we go down the dark triad thing, this is the beginning of it. And many guys obviously want to try the threesome, so that I've done a podcast on this. The first way to try it is you and your wing and a girl, male, male, female. Sounds gay. It's only gay if bits are touching. No, it's not. It's funny. It usually involves a lot of giggles. It's not as weird as it sounds, and you'd be shocked that this is one of the number one fantasies that women have, is two guys. So if you've got a wing who's very good at game, one of you escalates, your mate's just there, you all go to the bar together. It's really not that difficult. You agree with your mate, look, you can seduce her as well, you escalate as well. So you're sitting in the bar, your mate's doing physical escalation, you're doing physical escalation. It's much better if you've already slept with her, obviously, and she trusts you. I've done that many, many, many times. And then you hit the jackpot, female, female, male. I've never pulled two girls off the street and had a threesome. I've never pulled two girls I haven't already slept with and had a threesome. The trick, the money, is to find a bisexual girl. And when you find a bisexual girl, hang on to her for dear life. The first one I ever found was on Oxford Street. One day she was a Romanian girl studying at Cambridge University. She seemed like such a K girl. Little did I know that she went to Torture Garden. She was psycho. But she was properly bisexual in that she went to pick up girls in Soho. So it wasn't that hard to get her to pick up another girl. No, I found another bisexual girl, introduced them, and it was easy. The one that happened in New Year's was my bisexual girl, who's kind of like my wing, and we persuaded a girl who was straight. And it took a lot of time. I'm going to put some of the audio and the texting on Stealth Seduction because I don't have time now. But it should be a target for all guys because it's another level of game. It's fun. It's a great sexual experience. It improves your frame control. It improves your dominance. It improves your leading. Let's go deeper.